The WNBA has seen legends rise and fall. Behind the highlight reels and championship banners lie stories of heartbreak, scandal, and careers cut tragically short. Today, we dive deep into the moments that shook the league and the players whose journeys didn't end the way anyone expected. Margot Didek, a tragic loss at 37. She was a two-time All-Star, a towering figure in women's basketball, and a pioneer for international players. But in 2011, while living in Australia and pregnant with her third child, Margot Didek suffered a heart attack. Placed in a medically induced coma, she passed away just days later at the age of 37. Her death stunned the basketball world. This wasn't just the loss of a player, it was the loss of a trailblazer who helped grow the sport across continents. Her passing was a painful reminder of life's fragility, even for elite athletes. Shamik Holdsclaw, mental health and a fall from grace. The number one pick in 1999, a three-time NCAA champion. Shamik Holdsclaw was supposed to be the face of the league. On the court, she was dominant, averaging nearly 17 points a game. But behind the stats was a private battle with mental health. In 2012, her career came to an abrupt end after a shocking incident involving her ex-partner's car and a handgun. No one was injured, but Holdsclaw never played in the WNBA again. Since then, she's become an outspoken advocate for mental wellness. But her story remains a cautionary tale about the silent battles athletes face. Riquna Williams, scoring records and scandals. In 2013, Riquna Williams dropped 51 points in a single game, one of the most explosive performances in WNBA history. But her name is now more often linked to off-court controversies. Arrests in 2019 and 2023 for alleged domestic violence led to suspensions and damaged her reputation. Though never convicted, the repeated legal trouble has cast a long shadow over her career, one that may never fully lift. Jennifer Harris, a career stolen before it began. Jennifer Harris was a college standout with dreams of playing in the WNBA, but in 2005, she was cut from Penn State's team, allegedly because her coach believed she was a lesbian. She sued for discrimination, and while the case settled out of court, the damage was done. No WNBA team took the risk. Her story became a stark example of the barriers LGBTQ+ athletes can face and how prejudice can quietly erase even the most promising careers. Cara Braxton, talent overshadowed by DUIs. Drafted 7th overall in 2005, Cara Braxton was a key player in Detroit's championship run and the 2007 6th Woman of the Year. But multiple DUI arrests led to suspensions and eroded her role in the league. Despite her size, skill, and potential, personal struggles ultimately pushed her out of the spotlight and out of the WNBA without the farewell she deserved. Candice Wiggins, burned out by bullying. An 8-year veteran and 2011 WNBA champion, Candice Wiggins shocked fans when she retired early, then claimed she was bullied in the league for being too heterosexual. The comments ignited a media firestorm, with players pushing back on her claims. Regardless of where the truth lies, the fallout left her isolated from the WNBA community, and her exit became more controversial than her career. Jane Appel, injuries that ended a career early. A 5th overall pick and 2-time All-American, Jane Appel entered the league with high expectations, but chronic hip injuries kept her from ever reaching her full potential. In 2016, at just 28 years old, she quietly retired with a tweet: "No press conference, no farewell game." Her career ended in silence, a reminder of how quickly injuries can close the door on even the brightest talents. Monica Wright, from championships to the sidelines. 2 championships with the Lynx, an engagement to NBA star Kevin Durant. Monica Wright's career was full of headlines, but knee injuries brought it to an abrupt halt. She transitioned into coaching and front office work, but her time as a player ended far too soon, robbing fans of her prime years. Bria Hartley, a rising star stopped by injury. Drafted in 2014, Bria Hartley was a spark off the bench for several teams. In 2020, she was having a breakout season, until an ACL tear changed everything. She returned, but the explosiveness was gone. Her career slowly faded, not with a scandal, but with the quiet heartbreak of a body that couldn't keep up with the will to play. Simone Augustus, a legend's quiet goodbye. 4 championships, 8 All-Star selections. Simone Augustus is a WNBA legend, but her final seasons were quiet, too quiet. After a reduced role in LA, she retired during training camp in 2021, immediately stepping into coaching. Fans were left stunned. A career that should have ended with celebration ended instead with a whisper. Epiphany Prince, a sudden fade from the spotlight. Epiphany Prince was a scoring machine, a guard who could take over a game and change its outcome in an instant. Drafted in 2010, she had multiple seasons averaging over 15 points per game and was a key piece for playoff contenders like the Sky and Liberty. But when the 2020 season was disrupted by the pandemic, Prince opted out for health reasons. When she returned, she struggled to find her rhythm. Minutes became scarce, her role diminished, and soon she was out of the league. No big announcement, no farewell. For a player once feared by defenses, her quiet exit was hard for fans to watch. Alexis Hornbuckle, from champion to forgotten. In 2008, Alexis Hornbuckle made history, winning an NCAA title and a WNBA championship in the same year. Drafted 4th overall, she was known for her fierce defense and championship mentality. But after a promising start, her career never found steady footing. Injuries, roster changes, and reduced minutes kept her from becoming a consistent star. Eventually, she slipped out of the league without much notice. For someone who once stood on top of the basketball world, the fade into obscurity was jarring. Monique Curry, a career without the defining moment. Monique Curry was a veteran scorer, a reliable leader, and a fixture in the WNBA for over a decade. But despite her talent, she never had the defining championship run or iconic moment to cement her legacy. By 2018, her production dropped sharply, and she averaged just over 3 points a game. Without scandal or injury to explain it, her career simply faded out, a slow, quiet ending to a player once considered a franchise cornerstone. Tiffany Bias, the speedster who barely got a chance. Tiffany Bias had Olympic-level speed and was a standout at Oklahoma State. Drafted in 2014, her athleticism was undeniable, but opportunity was scarce. Across 4 seasons, she appeared in only 37 games and scored fewer than 100 total points. Between roster cuts, injuries, and stiff competition at guard, she never found her place. She later moved into broadcasting, but on the court, her WNBA career was over almost before it began. Taylor Hill, a star interrupted by injury. The 4th pick in 2013, Taylor Hill looked like a future star for the Washington Mystics. She had seasons averaging double-digit points and was improving every year, until 2017, when an ACL injury changed everything. Though she worked hard to return, her explosiveness was gone. Minutes and production dropped, and by 2020, she was out of the league entirely. Hill's story is a cruel reminder of how one injury can derail years of hard work. Cappie Pondexter, a legend without a farewell. Cappie Pondexter was one of the greatest guards the WNBA has ever seen. a Finals MVP, a 2-time champion, and a 7-time All-Star. But her final years were messy. After bouncing between teams and struggling to find her place, she finished 2018 with the Indiana Fever, playing only a handful of games. Then, silence. No farewell tour, no retirement announcement. For a player of her stature, it felt like the league closed the book without reading the final chapter. Shoni Schimmel, from All-Star to out of the league. Shoni Schimmel was electric. As a rookie in 2014, she made the All-Star game and won MVP of the event. She became a cultural icon in Native American communities and a marketing star for the WNBA. But within just a few years, her career unraveled. Fitness issues, conflicts with coaches, and declining performance led to her being waived in 2016. By 2018, she was gone from the league. In 2021, she faced a domestic violence charge, a stunning fall from grace for one of the league's most exciting young stars. Kelly Schumacher, 2 rings, little recognition. Kelly Schumacher had something most players dream of, 2 WNBA championships. But despite the rings, her individual career was modest. Known for her shot blocking, she played limited minutes for most of her career. After bouncing between multiple teams, she quietly left the league and moved into coaching. For a 2-time champion, her exit was surprisingly quick and quiet. Kristen Mann, the pop star prospect who faded away. Kristen Mann wasn't just a basketball player, she was also a pop singer, with dreams of combining both worlds. Drafted 11th overall in 2005, she had the versatility to play forward and space the floor. But in 5 seasons, she averaged under 5 points per game, never made the playoffs, and was waived multiple times. Eventually, she left basketball entirely to focus on music. Her WNBA career ended without fanfare and without the breakout moment many expected. Some left in glory, some in scandal, others in silence. But each of these players left their mark, for better or worse, on the WNBA's history. Their stories remind us that behind every stat, every highlight, and every championship banner, there's a human being, with triumphs, struggles, and moments that can change everything in an instant.